listen, the note's not the place for a cut, but I want to make a cut in the recording, because I'm feeling like a big boy with my big boy pants hoisted all the way up. I awoke. My neck was aching something first. I was clearly well past my time for taking painkillers. I wonder how long I'd slept in. I rolled over onto my side and reached for my phone. Found myself at eye level with Damien, who was sitting on my floor cross-legged. I startled away. I was pretty sure I jumped clear through off the mattress. Oh, he's saying raptor Jesus. The startled Damien, who recovered quickly, a smile forming wide on his face, he laughed. Sorry, dude, I got here a bit early, but your parents let me in. You were out cold, man, so I didn't want to disturb you. Held my hand to my heart, trying to steady myself. Once I was composed enough, I grabbed my phone, jot down my reply. Why get here so early? Dude, what time do you think it is? I looked at my phone properly and noted it was past noon. Wow, that was like a light. I mean, you have brain damage, buddy. Shit's bad. Damien scooted himself out of the room so I could get changed, and then waited for me to take my medicine and do my exercises. For his part, Damien, trying to be encouraging, mirrored some of the silly faces I was making, which made it pretty hard to keep him up. Mom brought us some simple sandwiches, and I informed her we needed to talk about some of the stuff that had happened. Thankfully, she took the hint and gave us privacy. Another bite. Another bite, another dollar. Listen, I just like eating the ends of bread on their own. No, nothing on it. I just like the crust. Like, yeah, the inside's nice and fluffy, but the ends have that unique chewiness. Maybe I should eat some Pringles like old time's sake. I used to eat loudly into the microphone without muting myself, with no hint of irony. What a nice song. Is there a Damien theme? Let's turn on Damien theme if there's a Damien theme. There should be a Damien. There we go, Damien theme. Hell yeah! We sat in silence for a moment. Damien gazed around the room. I didn't believe he hadn't already eyeballed everything in here while I was asleep, and I was pretty sure he was just trying to buy some time. I didn't think this talk would go poorly, but it was clearly likely to be unpleasant all the same. Still, I should be the one to kick it off. I grabbed my phone and thought about it for a moment before settling on my wording. I jotted it down, turned to show my opener, and Damien broke the silence. I'm sorry, Inco. I fucked shit up! I threw my hands in the air, annoyed, and snorted out a huff. Not at him. More that I'd finally resolved to confront the guy who should be my best friend about all the horrific failings, and he opts to throw himself onto my sword first. Damn! I growled. He raised his eyes to meet mine. I shoved my phone with my note in his face and forced him to look at it. I'm sorry. I failed you, your family, and Olivia. He looked at it, digesting it for a moment. Hold on. Oh, no, that's fine. I thought I heard something. And Olivia. He looked at it, digesting it for a moment, and snorted. Looks like we both got some stuff to say. So who first? I'll be honest, these chapters are a bit long in the tooth for what they're trying to do. Should have been a cut, but whatever. It's better than some. I mean, to be honest, nothing but something destroyed my standard, so hey. I snagged my phone back and shot the best don't you dare look, which going to raise his hands in surrender. Thought about how to approach it for a moment before flipping over to the text app. The notepad app was good for quick messages I could show to people, but it wasn't good for me for longer form discussions. Something I would need to figure out going forward. But that was for later. Today, it was getting ironed out. I tapped out my thoughts, and Damien quickly realized what the game plan was and had his phone ready. Right. Oh, they're doing it on the phone now! Messenger app. Right, I had a few things to think, and I've been talking to your dad. Obviously, I fucked up bad. Real bad. I hurt Olivia, but I also hurt you, Finny. And both of your parents. Damien's phone beeped and he went, why would it beep? Isn't he on the app? Why do you have notifications for an open conversation, you bingus? He read it carefully and nodded me to continue. I was too spineless and egotistical to see I was hurting everyone. And that behavior hurt Olivia. Pushed her back into her shell, like you said. That made her lash out at you guys. And that hurt you guys. He nodded again. Man, he really isn't being as eloquent. I don't think I can go make things as they were before. But I want to try and make things right, properly. doing a lot of thinking and realizing that Inco doesn't know shit. If you guys hate me, you're on your right to do so. But I want to do what I can to make it better. He nodded. This time, no. I ignored your advice. I pushed you away and mocked and insulted you in my head. You're an incredible, smart, caring guy. Not good with math, though. You deserve better than that. I know I feel guilty about hitting me or destroying my camera. He reads and flinches. But that was probably the best thing you've done for me. I deserved it. Even if I didn't think it at the time, I needed it. I'm sorry Ferris stopped you and I got away only to make things worse. I'm sorry about your arm. Damien's eyes flicked to his slung arm. Randy mentioned it would take a few weeks to heal fully. Damn! It's, I don't want to say it's fine. Wait, is Damien responding now? It's, I don't want to say it's fine. I still get tingling and numbness and I shouldn't have hit you. Regardless of how you feel about it. And Mr. Ferris hadn't stopped me, I would have done a lot worse. He finally replied to my... Please start your fucking sentence with... Why is this at the end? Listen, buddy. You did nothing to establish that Inco's... was... Also... Inco talking, Damien responds. Inco talking, Damien responds. Inco talking, Damien responds. Damien talks? Fuck you! Fuck you! You had a standard and template set up, and then you just suddenly switch it around, and then you put the clarification at the end? I'm taking points! No! His expression was one of hurt and anger. I couldn't tell how much of that was directed at me, though. You're not the only one who spent this time thinking. I know I did not to do a lot of it, dude, but when I heard Livy screaming for help, his eyes misted up. I thought something had happened and you died, man. Yeah, I was pissed at you. I wanted to hurt you. To stop you from hurting Livy, but I didn't want you dead. I figured that was a pretty common sentiment that night. Ferris was on scene first, but I was pretty close behind him. And I saw you at the bottom of the stairs. Olivia was a wreck. She was cradling your head even after everything you did. I didn't know what she was whispering to you. It was pretty clear she wanted you to be alright, and He ran his free hands, claws through his hair. Why are you phrasing it like that? It made me angry. Closed my eyes to decide confusion below me continue. You hurt Olivia so much. My family. You humiliated her in front of the entire school when she was at the lowest moment. You made me so mad. I actually hit you and broke your camera. Ferris fucked up my arm and then just... He waved his hands as if dispelling the fog and he was suddenly gone. You were hurt. We're dead. Suddenly none of that mattered. Olivia was trying to help and Ferris was pulling Olivia off of you and Scalar was trying to give first aid. I think Ben called 911. And I was sitting there atop of the stairs, angry at you. That you would find some kind of loophole to get out of this mess. Jesus, that was a fucked up thing to think. Oh, sorry, this song really isn't appropriate. I didn't think this would get so heavy. Sorry. I got real distracted, I'm sorry. I thought back on when I first saw him after coming to the hospital. What Randy said about how he was running himself ragged. He probably spent those days I was out, chewing himself up on the inside over that thought. Damien was one of the nicest people I knew, and that I'd been so awful that that vile thought could have ever entered his head made me feel nauseous. I scooted to his side and ran my hand over his shoulder. He was holding himself together much better than I had over the last few days, but even then I could see the tears forming in his eyes. Well, that's because he's had a couple more days than you to work on this. I was mad about you. What kind of awful person even thinks something like that? He didn't break down or begin to wail or cry. Damien's fortitude was honestly inspiring. But he did quietly sob while I kept my arm around his shoulder. I'm here for you, dude. I let him work out his pent-up emotions from the last week, but he slowly but surely centered himself. Another minute or two, and he took a deep breath and released it in my... I'm sorry, man. I know I'm making this all about me, but it's been a rough week, you know? How has it been a week? I gave him a smile and shook my head as best as the neck brace allowed. Some progress. But I think we could still use a breather. I looked down and saw some wet spots on the floor and smirked. I whipped my phone out and noted a question. Hey, dialogue tears on the city, are they? He read the message, saw the stair spots, and let out a long exhale, turned to a laugh. Nah, man. Your carpet's safe for me today. I gave him a box of tissues from my desk, and he dried his eyes and my floor. You know what? Liz actually screamed at Ferris, Damien said after a few minutes of quiet. Why don't you mention the minutes of quiet first? Why are you so fucking insistent on putting your text after the like? You're allowed to put that shit in front. Oh, like at this point, it's starting to get in the way of your writing, man. Oh, I wrote. Yeah, she didn't have the full context of what happened or anything. I had to get my arm checked out by the EMTs when they showed up to get you. I tried to blow her off, but Mr. Ferris told her what happened. I don't think any of the rest of the situation even registered for her. Just that he messed up my arm and she went off on him. His brow furrowed and he sucked in air through his teeth at the memory. Yeah, I think he could have done it differently too. But he was just trying to stop a fight, you know. I think everyone could have done things differently that night. He idly picked up the car before concluding his thoughts. No, Raph, a woman scoring right, dude. They got a chuckle from me. He was right. Women suck. I'm an incel now. Inco, why are you taking the worst possible lesson from this? With things cooled back down, we continued to talk. I took the time to apologize a bit more for my failings, but eventually Damien seemed to get bored of it, so we shifted the topic to more practical matters. The let's fix everything plan. Hold up. I'm messing up my setup. That I was even thinking this seemed to put Damien at ease a little. Apologizing and saying sorry a lot is easy, and it means virtually nothing. Actually knuckling down and trying to repair and make amends is hard and real. I told him he was at step 1. He considered that, and after a bit concurred that it made sense. I don't feel right in saying that I forgive you exactly, but I'm down for you helping to help everyone. They deserve that. You put in the work, and I think these lingering things will go away. Are we at least cool enough to work together? Absolutely, man. I may not be the brightest dude, but Inky, my man, you're kinda dumb. Even before the brain damage. I groaned at the mostly playful jeering. He was right, of course. Damien may not have been a great thinker, but he certainly was more world-wise than I could ever hope to be. He's an empath. He's got that. He's in touch with his womanly side, Ingo. And my track record for the last part of the semester seemed solidified my kind of dumb status for sure. Still, it seemed like he was in my corner enough to help me see things through. That was a huge relief. Next stop was Vinny. Damien agreed with my thoughts there. Vinny probably didn't hold as much resentment for me over what happened, but making him feel better and making him feel like he wasn't at fault was paramount for the kid. He needed an apology and explanation from me for sure. When the day I was playing street hockey with the two of them, when it warmed up some, Damien's eye lit up. Dude, that's a great idea! It's been such a long time since we played, but I think we still have our old stuff. He grinned like a loon. Alright, New Inco's deductive skills on complete garbage. Sweet. We talked down my tentative list of to-dos and he agreed at each step, except one. When I got to talk to Ben, his snout immediately curled into a Fuck! Is this the guy who wrote nothing to something or not? 'Cause man, is he making the same mistakes. Look, dude, I know, but we're missing a puzzle piece. A big one. I think. As far as those two are concerned. I'm happy about it, but I think it needs to happen. Damien relented on that point. He noted that Olivia began closing herself off after the first year of high school, right around the time that her and Ben's friendship ended. He never got the full details, but that part was clearly related. Besides, I think we can get Ferris and Scalar in a room with him and force the issue. Wait, look, dude, I know, but we're missing a puzzle piece. A big one, I think. For as far as those two are concerned, I'm not happy about it, but I think it needs to happen. What? It probably means Ben and Mia, which is kind of weird. You might want to bring her back in. Remind the reader that that's what he's... Okay. Besides, I think we can get Scalar and Ferris in a room with him and force the issue. He nodded. We continued to make minor plans and ideas, but Fortress Olivia continued to be the ultimate goal. And one with too few opportunities yet. I told Damien I was kind of worried about being there on Christmas, but he frowned and dismissed the concern. Honestly, man, I think she'll probably just stay holed up in there all day. It's been like that since the formal. I doubt it'll change now, even more people showing up. Even if it's you and your parents. Best you can hope is just keep things easy and clear and see how it goes. On that we agreed. After the topic shifted to more slightly pleasant things, namely gifts. Everything I wanted gear to get to everyone, which showed me a semi-playful ribbing from Damien. Dude, you spend all your time around us and don't know what to get us? Old Inco was, as we have established, kind of dumb. He nodded in agreement. The good news was that Damien was a pretty good font of ideas. Somewhat better than others, admittedly, but it was enough to work with, and I jotted down all the notes I could manage and settled on talking to Mom and Dad about the trip to the mall to do some last-minute shopping for everyone. Eventually, a little brainstorming session came to a close. Mom knocked on the door and confirmed to us that it was nearly dinner time. Would you like to stay over, Damien? We haven't had guests in a while. Damien's patented smile came out, and I rubbed the back of his head. Sorry, Mrs. N. That's so awkward. Is she insane? I promised Mom and Pop I'd help around the house tonight. Mom was a bit disappointed, which surprised me for sure, but she accepted the reasoning graciously. He also made sure to thank her for the sandwiches before departing. I watched as he hopped in Randy's car, the elder Payne giving me a smile and a wave, which I returned. He took off and I closed the door. I felt like I should be a bit more tired, but honestly, things went well with Damien today. He said he didn't really forgive me yet, and I could accept that. He had my back with fixing everything else, and that was the important part. Even if he eventually forgave me, that was just the icing on the cake. I sat in silence with my parents as we ate a simple but mom-cooked meal, and my mom turned toward tomorrow. I'd go with Mom and Dad to do the shopping. Like I thought, they were planning to get their own gifts for the Paynes, and a way to show how thankful they were for helping me while they were gone. I get whatever gifts felt right. Not expensive, not flashy. Not something old Inco wanted. Not something Inco wanted. Oh, that's what he means. Something they would want. The fact that they took me any focus on the idea to get it spoke sad volumes about the kind of person I've been developing into previously. This was a chance to put one foot in front of the other and start walking the walk instead of actually becoming a halfway decent person. Damien's suggestions would be enough to get me started. But the rest was on me, and after that was Christmas, the first real test for how the rest of all was going to shake up. Okay, cool. Lovely. Lovely jubbly, as they say. So, what do I feel? I don't know, man. I've already mentioned that some of the writing is grinding a little bit. It really feels like this guy should have done a pass where he checks out his own writing style and tries to work it out, but we'll see. So, next time we're going halfway, I guess, because there's 8 chapters. Apparently, we're getting Olivia's response at the end next time. Otherwise, who knows? And this is a little impromptu stream because nothing is going good of late, and I'm very angry about that. Ooh, I'm just stomping my little feeties. Maybe I'll fix myself up over time, but for now, I thank you all for coming, and I would like to remind you that I'm gonna go. Thank you all for coming. You were very nice for coming and showing up and saying hello. You know, like I said, this isn't bad writing. I do think that it's kind of dropping the stitches in some really, like, just annoying places. But you know what? I'm liking it. You know, this is actually one to think about it. So, otherwise, see you guys next week, Friday, for Chapter 4. As Inco buys some gifts. And he probably gets to talk with either Sophia or Ferris and Scalar. No, Ferris and Scalar would probably be after Christmas. Now, Ferris could be earlier. Because Ferris would probably show up at because he showed up at the barbecue. He might show up here. Otherwise, I don't know. We'll see. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for watching the recording. Writes down, deal with Mia and Ben. 3 weeks later, Spanish TTS, Inco. What? Divine punishment. Yeah, pretty much. I got rumblies in my tumblies. I also got some writing spirit back. This is revitalizing in a way. We'll see where I am when I get there. But now it's the time for pa 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 pa. Hey!